Hey friends, it's your buddy Rob here. I'm back with a new episode of Unboxed. In this episode, I unboxed one of the most iconic debut rap albums of all time, Notorious B.I.G.'s Ready to Die, the 30th anniversary edition. And even after 30 years, I'm still not ready to die. As a matter of fact, I'm ready to open the album with my machete. Won't you join me? Let's learn, let's listen, let's love, let's not die. Welcome to Unboxed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications when I upload new episodes. And we're going to discuss Notorious B.I.G's album Ready to Die, the 30th anniversary. Yes, a very long time. I'm still not ready to die. I'm still ready to live. I'm waiting for that to happen. So, this album came out in 1994, a huge year for rap music. West Coast was basically dominating the charts.
West, y'all.
Dre and Snoop's debut albums were just all over the place. You know, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing Gin and Juice or Nothing But a G Thing or Dre Day. I was starting high school and I'd just gotten pubes, so I was pretty excited about that. In 1994, you have Warren G's G-Funk era, Outkast's Southern Playalistic album, Scarface, UGK, Nas, Bone Thugs, Da Brat, Redman, Method Man. It was huge. Literally, like some of the best debut albums by these new artists. It was just a great time. Trust me, I was there. I don't want to relive it, but I'm glad that I did. And as a fan of rap music, you were not let down in 1994. So Ready to Die dropped September 13th, 1994, and immediately put the East Coast back on the map. Because as I said, the West Coast was really dominating at that time and had really been running things. And this album, of course, released on Bad Boy Records.
'Cause it's Bad Boy for life.
Executive produced by Puff Daddy. We could spend all day talking about that, but we're not gonna. But if you think about it, think about all the name changes that Puff Daddy went through. It's almost like he was running from the law. And he didn't even know it yet. But again, let's not get into that. So a majority of this album was produced by Easy Mo Bee, who ironically did some production work for Tupac on his album Me Against the World, which is actually my favorite Tupac album, and recorded around the same time as this album. And you gotta keep in mind, everybody knows about the Tupac, Biggie beef, and this was well before that even started. The album has one track produced by DJ Premier, historic, iconic producer. You got some work by Poke and Tone, aka the Trackmasters. Lord Finesse did a track, and there's others as well. And then Puff Daddy did a lot of work on the album too, production-wise. I'm not really sure. I don't know what he does when it comes to turning knobs and everything, but I do know this. He does a lot of, yeah, take that. And this is really where that started. About half the album, I want to say, has him doing that on tracks. In my opinion, very annoying. I would like to hear these albums redone without Puff Daddy making these noises and saying these things, just to hear what it sounds like. Maybe it does add something that it just doesn't click for me. So, putting this in perspective, this was Biggie's only solo album that came out while he was alive. And it's an incredible album. I mean, the dude only put out 2 albums, and he's reached legendary status. So if that should really say what he has done and what he's contributed to hip-hop as a whole. And it's really kind of beautiful in a prophetic way, however you want to look at it. And another beautiful thing about the album is the only guest feature on this entire album is Method Man of the almighty Wu-Tang Clan. So what do you say? We get out the machete and we cut this pig open. Let's see how this new method of opening the boxes works out. Oops. Wow, okay. A little bit of sacrifice with that box there, but luckily didn't do any damage to the album, so that's good. So the first thing you might notice is it's not the iconic baby on the album cover. This is what they call reimagined album artwork. 30th anniversary by Rhino Records. Rhino there, of course, Bad Boy. Pretty interesting. I like the color scheme. I wish they would have done something a little different with, and maybe included that same person, the baby, that's now no longer a baby, now is obviously 30 plus years old. But there has been a lot of speculation about that original album cover because people thought it was Biggie when he was a baby, thought it was his daughter who was around that age when they did the album. Turns out it's kind of like I guess in a way, the Nirvana Nevermind album cover, where it's just a random baby that they hired. The kid or the family was paid $150, and now that kid gets to walk around and say, "Hey, I was the baby. I was that baby on the cover of Ready to Die." This album, of course, packed with just some legendary tracks. Juicy. Here we go. Big Papa, of course. You know, I was introduced by this album through Big Papa was the first song. I remember the video on MTV back when MTV was a thing. But really it was the song Warning that the storytelling aspect of Warning was just, it caught me, and I was a fan. So it looks like it's a gatefold opening here. You got the album credits here. Looks like maybe a mapping of the New York subway, Brooklyn Bridge, Biggie being from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, of course. Really nice. It's got a nice feel to it. Not glossy, as you can see, otherwise you'd see lights reflecting off of there. Let's take a look at the vinyl, because I believe it is colored. Or not. I know that there is some editions of this with the that match the color scheme of the album. So there's, you know, an orange disc and a bluish disc vinyl. Neither of these though. These are both just black. But I'm okay with that. That's really just for show. It's nice to have, but this was a gift from my son for Christmas, and I'm just getting around to opening it. So this album packed some of Biggie's most legendary tracks, the biggest hits of his: Juicy, Big Papa, Gimme the Loot, Juicy, the ultimate rags to riches story.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this.
You know, one thing I forgot to mention about this album is executive produced by Mr. C. If you don't know who Mr. C was, he was the guy that actually discovered Biggie and brought him to Puff Daddy. So he passed away in 2024, so R.I.P. to Mr. C. That is Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die 30th Anniversary Edition. Definitely a must-have for any hip-hop fan, any collector of vinyl albums, whether it's this 30th anniversary or one of the reissues or original pressings of the album. An absolute classic, must-have. Thank you for checking out the video. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Many more new videos to come in the future. And that's it for now. Baby, baby.